Time now for Restoring the Soul of Healthcare from the HELPcare Clinic in Austin.
It is that time. Once again, we check in with the HELPcare Clinic. Always a pleasure to visit with Dr. David Strobel and Lee Acey. And gentlemen, good morning. I understand you have a special guest joining us as well today.
Good morning, John. Yeah, we're glad to be with you again today, and also glad to have Stephanie Kimmis, our nurse practitioner, join us as well, because she's going to be very directly involved in providing the new service that we're here to talk about today.
And you sent me a link, and I want to remind people that they can check out your website, because you post these blogs on there. And today we're specifically talking about not only physicals, but a very specific physical for folks that have to take care of their DOT licensure. And it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so part of our goal at HELPcare Clinic is to provide most of the health care most people need, for most of their lives through an affordable membership. And one of the things that we've heard from our members that they need, and actually we had one of the local trucking companies approach us as well, and they said that there's a real need to be able to get the Department of Transportation physical exams that are required for those who are commercial drivers. And so, as I understand it, and Dr. Strobel, you can confirm this with me, I think back in the old days, these kind of exams could be done by any physician, but now a special certification is needed. You need to be on a roster of approved medical providers to be able to do this. Is that correct?
Yep, that is correct. There was probably, I would say maybe about 7 or 8 years ago that the Department of Transportation said, well, we want to have certified folks. And it was primarily, really, because of the increasing amount of the disease that we've talked about ad nauseum on this show, and that is metabolic syndrome. That has been getting so much more problem that we had so many more people that had diabetes and obstructive sleep apnea and needed CPAP machines and all of that there was a much higher incidence and risk of drivers not functioning well because of complications of that. And so they saw that as an increasing burden of disease among that population, and so said, we need to make sure that the certifying physicians actually have been through the training in order to deal with all of these problems. So prior to that, I did DOT physicals all the time, and so did any other primary physician. And at that point, I just didn't seek the certification simply because we had other people in my practice at that time that were doing it, and it didn't seem to make sense to have everybody certified, so I didn't do that. But starting in HELPcare Clinic, now we've got interest in doing that, and my plan was ultimately to get it myself. But with Ms. Kimmis on board, we are blessed to have somebody that doesn't have quite as many plates spinning on sticks as I do. And she's been able to take the time to get it done much more quickly, so we're really blessed by that.
Yes, good morning. This is Stephanie, and I am pleased that I was able to obtain that DOT medical examiner certification. And what that involves is taking a certified course training prior to the national certification exam. And so that I just passed this last week. So very happy to offer that service here for our members. And that involves a comprehensive physical evaluation, just like you would for a regular physical exam, but just with some added components, particular, to truck drivers, because they have to do a lot of things while they're on the road. And not only just the driving aspect, right, but much more than that, loading, unloading, coupling, getting under the truck, changing tires, So, what this does is provides an exam that looks at all those components and ensures that they're fit, for duty. And so we do vital signs, of course, height and weight, hearing, vision, and urinalysis for all the folks that come through for this exam.
I was looking at the blog post, and one of the things I noticed right off the bat, because not being somebody who needs a DOT certification, I'm like, well, how different is it from really, if I go for a physical, I want to make sure we're checking everything. How different is this physical? And one of the things I noted on there was that not only is the driver, worried about the physicality of the job, but also a lot of the mental and emotional components. Are those some of the things that are included in there that you're checking for?
Absolutely. And, that is something that is, part of the comprehensive exam we have and screening for, anxiety, depression, those kinds of things. But certainly that is part of this exam in particular because there's so much a truck driver has to pay attention to. And so some of those things, being away on the road, away from family, things like that, I think are hard for some folks. So, yes, we do assess that as well.
Yeah, I would think. So you're obviously driving, in most cases, if it's a loaded semi, you're responsible not only for that load, but everybody who's within proximity of you going down the road. Plus, you're trying to keep schedule. You've got logbooks. You've got to, keep on time. The pressure of that particular job, I don't think a lot of people realize how much of a pressure cooker hauling everything across the road really is.
Right, and I didn't either, to tell you the truth, until I looked into this further and got the training and really understood better, how much responsibility these folks have.
Yeah, so I just wanted to also talk about how folks can get access to these exams. So, first of all, as I mentioned, we're including it at no extra cost for our HELPcare Clinic members, just as part of wanting to meet most of the needs of most of the people who are becoming members. This is something that we will be offering as a separate item for those who just need that exam. Of course, we hope that some of them would want to consider overall membership as well, but also then with some of the local trucking companies that have a need for getting their drivers certified, we'll be having agreements with them for payment for this as well. And then in addition to the DOT physical exams, we're getting nurses certified to be able to do the random drug testing that's required to do that specimen collection. So we're looking to be able to provide that full scope of services that are needed for the commercial driving industry.
I'm always amazed whenever you talk about something new that we're offering, and the first thing you say is we're going to include that. I'm starting to think, man, you guys are including everything. This has got to be one of the greatest deals when it comes to healthcare, and we're still in that sign-up period through the end of August to get people signed up and save on that membership.
Yeah, right. We're getting really close. So we're, envisioning that by the 1st of September, we'll be up to, 5 days a week, most weeks in terms of these services. But yeah, there's some of these things that we hadn't necessarily anticipated as a need, or maybe we'd thought about it, but we thought we'd maybe get to it later. But as we are, interacting with our members and with the community, we find out what these needs are, and we say, yeah, that fits. That's something that can be done in a robust, direct primary care practice like this. And so, as you mentioned, we're going to the full prices in September, but as of between now and August 31st, anyone who signs up for membership saves $20 a month on whether it's single, couple, or family. So the single rate currently is $129 a month. It's $229 a month for a couple, and $329 a month for a family. And those will go up $20 a month, when we go to the full price in September.
Which really, if we're being honest, is a pretty good deal on itself.
Oh, it is. I mean, we fully believe that in September, October, November, December, that people will be signing up and they'll be saying, wow, that's really a good value. It's just and part of the reason for offering the discounts we have up till now is because we haven't been quite to the, 5 days a week, every week. We didn't have the lab at first. And so the folks who signed up earlier were kind of investing in what we're doing and believing in what we're doing and enabling us to get to the point where we'll provide those full services.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're always running out of time when we're really getting rolling here. Let's quickly remind everybody your website, location, phone number. How can they get a hold of you to get signed up?
Yep, they can go to HELPcare.health. That's HELP care.health. They can stop by and see us at 308 4th Avenue Northwest, which is just a block east of St. Augustine's, or give us a call at 507-279-2345.
All right, fantastic information as always, and we always enjoy our conversations. Stephanie, thank you very much. Dr. Dave and Lee, we'll talk to you again next Thursday.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll look forward to it. Blessings, John.
All right, thank you very much. Bye-bye.